I'm so glad I didn't go to college. You know, when I was 18 years old and I made the decision to become a plumber, everybody thought I was insane. They said, "Oh, Ricky, you're so smart. Why aren't you going to college?" You know, I had a good GPA. I took all the advanced placement classes. I did everything by the books up until that point in my life. And it was my last semester of high school where I decided that, you know what, no, I'm not going to do this. I've spent the last 13 years from kindergarten to 12th grade doing what the system tells me to do and going to school and punching that school time clock from, 7 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon or whatever it is, and basically just being a good little serf and obeying the system. And I had a moment of introspection, and I thought about it, and I said to myself, I can't do this. This is not me. I'm very independent. I like to be my own man. And I realized at that point that the only path forward for me was going to be going into a career that would allow me to have control over my own destiny. And so if you know anything about me, you'll know that I became a plumber. And if you don't, that's okay. My name is Ricky. And when I was 18 years old, I decided I'm going to go be a tradesman, and I'm going to work my butt off so that I can get my license and I can start my own business. And right now it's about 7:30, 7:45 in the morning. I'm walking my dog, and everybody else is getting ready to go to work, but they're on their boss's time clock, and I'm not. If I want to take an extra half hour to walk my dog this morning, I'm going to do it. And there's going to be no consequences because I'm my own man and I'm free. And so I'm so glad that I didn't go to college and I didn't follow the route that everybody told me that I had to take. I'm so glad that I did the opposite of what my teachers told me to do. They were so worried that I was going to end up living a life of mediocrity. And yet the funny thing is, and I mean this with no judgment whatsoever, a lot of the kids that I went to high school with, I look at them now, and yeah, most of them went to college out of high school, but I don't see any of them doing anything with their lives. And millennials, our generation has a tough time. A lot of them aren't buying homes. A lot of them aren't getting ahead. And the ones that are getting ahead, they're locked into a job where they have a boss that's telling them what to do. And that's just not the life I want for myself. And so if you came across this YouTube channel, maybe you're a young guy, or maybe you're my age, maybe you're a millennial and you're 30 years old, 31 years old like me, maybe your path forward in life is a non-traditional route. Maybe you need to learn a skill or a trade or put your time into something, a skill that you can then sell and market and have your own freedom. And here's the thing. Once you get good enough at your job, working for yourself, you'll be able to hire employees who can lighten the load for you. I work with a small team of guys, and they're absolutely wonderful to work with. I'm very grateful to them. They're wonderful people. They're hard workers. They're honest. But let's be honest about this. They work for me. And so them working for me, they have to punch in whenever they're supposed to be at the job, right? They don't have the time flexibility that I have, where I get to set my own schedule and I can change my schedule on a whim if I want to. Now, obviously, I have to be responsible to my clients, right? Like if we have a job that I have to be at 8 o'clock and I agree to do that, then I need to be a man of my word. And so being an entrepreneur, you have a lot of responsibility where you just have to do things when you say you're going to do them. And that's very important. But the thing is, I never feel like I'm trapped. Like I'm my own man. I'm free. I get to do what I want to do. I get to spend whatever time I want to spend on whatever project it is that I'm working on because I'm free. And so I guess the point of this video is maybe you should consider an alternative path. Be a plumber, be a carpenter, be a welder, HVAC, electrical. Learn a freaking trade. Learn a skill. Listen, web design, video editing, all that stuff is stuff of the past, okay? Those industries aren't going to exist in a few years, okay? Once AI is done evolving, and it's happening so quick now, those jobs are just not going to exist. Even HR, even receptionist. Like, I run a relatively small plumbing company, but we do about $1 million a year in revenue, and I don't have any full-time office staff. Like, I just don't need office staff anymore because technology has made it to the point where I can have a few part-time office people working for a few $100s a week, as opposed to one full-time office person that would be way more expensive. That would cost me 40 grand a year. And so think about that when you're looking into what career you want to go into. Am I going to have the freedom to be my own man? Am I going to have a career that is not going to be replaced by AI and all of these next internet tools? That's what I want you to think about. Be intentional and envision your life in the next 10 years. You can have a really good life doing this. So don't be an influencer. Don't have some BS internet job. Learn a physical job. Go to work. Get good at it. And in 5 to 10 years, you can have a real business that gives you real opportunity. You could have a family, a house, a beautiful life that is so much. I mean, literally nowadays, if you have a house and a wife and a couple of kids, you're in the top 10%. I don't care what anyone says. I see what is going on with our generation, and it's so sad. And I really do feel for my peers, but guys, we have to be real. We make our own decisions. We have to be responsible for our decisions. And so instead of feeling sorry for yourself, get to freaking work. I hope this video made you think, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day. Peace.